My name is Elizabeth Villafranca. I live and work in the city of Farmers Branch. My husband and I are business owners. We own two restaurants. One is called Cuquitas, the other is called Four Corners Cafe. And I wanted to share my story with you. Several months ago, I had a customer come to our restaurant to say that she had been to our restaurant the evening before and she had not enjoyed her meal and she wanted us to return her money. And she came to our business next door, and I said that that was fine. And as I was walking over to our other restaurant, I mentioned to her casually that, a lot of people are not accustomed to eating Mexican food and that our restaurant was authentic Mexican and not Tex-Mex. At which point she sort of angrily blurted out, "Well, this is Texas, isn't it?" And I said, "Yes, but the food is really Mexican." She turned around and looked at me in this just bizarre way and then suddenly said, "You're a wetback. You're a fucking wetback." She must have seen the shock in my face. She must have seen that look in my face where she knew that she really had gotten a reaction from me. And so she repeated it again. And she continued to say it. And for 1 second, I thought this woman was going to hit me. I've only been in one fight in the 4th grade with Lizzie Amazola, and it didn't go well for me. So my biggest concern was that she was going to try to hit me. She continued to call me a wetback, at which point I just didn't know what to say. I was so shocked. You just can't believe anybody could be saying this to you. So I basically turned around and said, "You're being really rude and you're being really disrespectful. I'm not going to give you your money back." And you can imagine all of the things that she started to say. After she left, she didn't really threaten me. She didn't really hit me. She didn't, do anything physical to me. But somehow I felt scared. I felt like if she was crazy enough to act out in that way, what else could she possibly do? Is she going to come and break our window? Is she going to come and do some other thing? And so I called the police. And the police came out. And when they found her, they said that when they approached her, she said, "I know why you're here. It's not against the law to call someone a wetback. I can call her whatever I want." And the whole week it really bothered me because I felt I don't know, I felt really uncomfortable. I'm American, I'm born and raised in this country, but somehow it just really got under my skin. After a few days, I realized that what was bothering me wasn't so much that she called me a wetback, it was that she called all of us a wetback. And that, I think, was the most hurtful thing for me. The screen went off, so I'm not sure
really?
if it kept recording.
Is it still...
Oh, it's still recording.
Okay, I think that's fine. And she can cut this stuff out right now.
Okay.
All right. Just yesterday, actually, the Supreme Court upheld SB 1070, the portion of the Arizona State Act which basically enforces the "show me your papers" provision. Have you experienced any sort of conduct from police like that here in Farmers Branch?
I have not. And to the credit of the chief of police, Sid Fuller, he's really trying to do the right thing. He's really, really trying to be fair. He's trying to do the right thing. I think that Arizona, in the end, is gonna be a blessing because, for the most part, the Supreme Court said this lies within the realm of the federal government, and you cannot continue to pass these hodgepodge laws as they've done in Farmers Branch and some other municipalities. So I think that in the end, it's gonna be a blessing.
You mentioned that it was the responsibility of the federal government, as the Supreme Court said yesterday, and that was a similar reasoning that the appellate courts used to strike down Farmers Branch's previous attempts in 2006 to actually pass overtly racist laws targeting employers, apartment owners, that sort of thing. Can you talk about the impact in your community of the pushes for those laws, particularly by men like Tim O'Hare?
Well, we have had quite an impact. We still have customers to this day that will not come. We have 3 restaurants. They won't come to Farmers Branch, not because they're afraid of their legal status, but because they refuse to spend their tax dollars in this city. We have people from my church, from Mary Immaculate Church, who left and went to another parish because there's sort of that subtle fear that's there. And even though the ordinances that they've passed are not enforceable and are unconstitutional, they still get the desired result. They get the result of fear, putting the fear in people and driving them out of the city.
And I think that's good for the first cut.
I think it's better if I look at you.
Okay, let's watch it.
Do you think it's better?